Hi, I'm Ian West and I'm passionate about branding. And today I'd like to talk about brand leadership. So what is brand leadership? Now let's be clear, brand leadership is not to be confused with leadership branding. Now there's a lot of talk these days about leadership brands, but essentially these are about personal brands. They are brands that people use to promote their leadership skills and ambitions. True brand leadership is about a business or an organisation's brand, not a person's brand. Okay, let's start with a definition. One basic definition of a brand leader is a product that is well recognised and well sold in a particular market segment, and it's sometimes called a market leader, in fact. So that's pretty basic, but perhaps not very relevant for most businesses. I mean, one issue is that unless you're operating in a huge and well-defined market segment, that definition is a bit of a blunt instrument. Now, most businesses operate in narrow markets, often in niches, and these niches may be identified and defined by maybe geography or particular specialisms within the niche, or perhaps price range, for example. So if you were to say target being the brand leader for perhaps some specialist accountancy service in Cambridge, that may well be a very realistic goal and very achievable. And don't forget that brand leaders can often premium price. They can demand top prices. So if you are going for brand leadership in a niche, you'll find that niches can be very profitable. One reality is that today, a brand leader is not necessarily the one with the biggest sales in a sector, but in fact the one with the most relevant product or service. This means occupying the dominant position in the consumer's mind. A brand leader can use this emotional and conceptual positioning to maximise its brand value. It can build upon its competitive distinctiveness. This means behaving like a brand leader and ensuring continuing relevance of its offer. We can see that striving for brand leadership is not just for huge businesses or huge brands. Every business can and should endeavour for leadership in its own sector or niche. Well, the first steps, of course, towards brand leadership is to understand your sector and your position in it. Know your competition, know their strengths and their weaknesses. Be clear about the distinctiveness of your offer and where you can occupy your space in the brandscape. Often you just need to clarify and work upon your differentiation. I know sometimes it can be difficult if you're too close to your brand to identify that opportunity, which might actually be right under your nose. It may be useful to enlist the help of an outsider to throw light on the real gems in your offer, but believe me, they're certainly there. And being a brand leader, of course, is all about positioning. You'll find it really useful to create your own positioning statement. Consider, for example, the context. Be clear what category or niche your brand should be associated with. Understand the competitors and your competitive positioning, where you are now and where you need to be. The target market, people. Be very clear who your target customers are. I mean, really get to know them and understand them. The brand ultimately is for the consumers. They need to own it. And ask yourself why they should be buying from you rather than the competitors you identified. It's about differentiation. What real benefits can you offer? What will you promise? And what proofs can you offer to support your claim and your promises as brand leader? So, achieving brand leadership in your chosen niche is wholly realistic. Be relevant to your consumers' needs and be unique amongst your competitors. Thank you.